of filming today.
Huh, but it's raining eh.
Don't worry, I'm sure it will rain later.
Oh, so we'll do later lah.
Yeah, let's discuss other things first.
Okay lor. Then I think you think of a plan B.
Okay.
We're wondering if you all have sheltered anybody before, or if anybody has sheltered you before in the rain before.
Yeah, friends? You mean friends, right?
Yeah.
Friends, then.
So your friends sheltered you before?
Oh, I sheltered my friends.
Only a friend. I sheltered a friend.
Yes and yes.
Okay.
I rarely carry an umbrella.
I know this is conscience thing, but you just want to help them to get across, especially when they're carrying out stuff.
Strangers.
Not really.
Strangers. Oh, yeah.
Many strangers have sheltered me, so that's
What about those who sheltered you?
It was a stranger.
She just said, "Would you like to share an umbrella with me?"
Yes. We had gotten off the bus at the same time, and so he...
Oh, okay. Where was that?
Walking up Heng Wei King Terrace.
Okay.
Because I was rushing for tuition, and I was trying to get out of the bus without being wet. I was carrying my books and my papers and everything. I was afraid it would get wet. And suddenly a stranger came behind me and was like, "Miss, do you want me help? Do you want to shelter you over to the other side?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." It was a good experience, because every time when someone helps you, I mean, they'll get repaid back lah. But yeah, it was good. Yeah.
So how do you feel after being sheltered? I'm very thankful to that person because it's actually quite hard to find someone that is going to help you.
In order to support our movement, maybe you'll help to recite the pledge.
Yes, I will do.
And hopefully you'll shelter some stranger from the rain in the future.
I will do. So I pledge to shelter.
I pledge to
Shelter a stranger.
without an umbrella.
Without an umbrella.
Without an umbrella.
From the rain.
Spreading the act of kindness.
Spreading the act of kindness.
Spreading the act of kindness.
To make the world a better place.
Make the world a better place. And make the world a better place.
Alright, thank you so much.
Alright.
You're gonna thank me when you hear who's on today's show.
Hi, I'm Jasmine.
I'm Shihui.
I'm Marilyn.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Caroline.
And together we're the creators of
Under My Umbrella! Boom!
So one of the focuses of our project is to shelter strangers without umbrellas from the rain, in the hope that people who have experienced this act of kindness will in turn pass it on. It's heartwarming, but it's not common here.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually did a short survey of around 100 people and found that even though 88% think that sheltering strangers is a kindness act that everyone should do, only 41% actually done it.
Yeah, actually, we also interviewed several of our friends, and they feel awkward about sheltering strangers.
Yeah.
It seems that people tend to doubt strangers' kindness just because it is uncommon.
So we should not just be kind to our families and friends, but to strangers as well.
Yeah. So we decided that there is a need to create more awareness in spreading an act of kindness to strangers. So where will that become a better place to live in?
That's why we came up with our project.
Was it fun?
Yeah, carrying out the project was really fun. So on top of sheltering strangers from the rain, we decided to reinforce our spontaneous project by collecting people's pledges and signatures to gain more awareness.
Yeah, at first, people may think that this small act of kindness is not very impactful, but you are wrong. It's actually more significant than you think. Actually, we received a comment on Facebook that a mother remembers a stranger who sheltered her 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Alright.
Therefore, the impact is unmeasurable as the act of kindness is passed on due to this domino effect.
Yeah. In addition, people who pledged and signed the cards have agreed and committed to sheltering strangers from the rain.
Okay.
Yeah, till now we have collected more than 200 pledges and excluding the ones we have on Facebook.
We learned that this will be more impactful as people like their actions and words to be consistent. So when they write and say the pledge, subconsciously they will remember to carry out this act of sheltering.
Obviously, I've been there and done that, but it's like, I freak out, but then once you go out there, you kind of relax, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And our survey results did show that 77% are more inclined to shelter a stranger from the rain after joining our Facebook group.
Well, our project still has a sustainable impact. We have a Facebook group with almost 400 members.
And still counting.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, we also have a fan page at the request of many of our Facebook group members. We encourage them to post their experiences and thoughts on sheltering others.
In order to make it even more sustainable, we'll message our members once in a while, and we'll continue to encourage them to post their good deeds or invite their friends to join our Facebook group.
We are also in discussion with a few educational institutes to bring our project to the next level and increase exposure. We understand that one of the local youths has community involvement projects, and we hope to collaborate with them to increase more awareness among students in Singapore, not just in NUS.
Oh, that's great.
So how do we make it more impactful and sustainable, right? It's when we count on the innate goodness of mankind to pass on this act.
Did you have a hard time at first?
Actually, we wanted to go all around Orchard Road, the NUS campus, to shelter strangers personally, right, from the rain. But it's not really raining. Exactly, even though it's the monsoon.
Does that give you pressure? Do you think about
I
that?
mean, like, what is the probability of it not raining during this monsoon period, right?
I guess we were misled during the planning stage when it was raining during every single of our group meetings. Therefore, we simply drew conclusions based on our observations rather than seeking to falsify theoretical understandings.
It's also known as the induction method.
In other words, we are probability blind, which almost caused the failure of our project. And that is how we learned about the existence of the black swan.
Okay.
To make matters worse, we were overconfident that it would definitely rain sooner or later, but we continued to procrastinate and simply just wait.
And it was only when the deadline was approaching that it dawned upon us that we need a
Plan B.
Of course.
Historically, this black swan has created major problems as well. I guess the most famous one is Titanic. No one expected Titanic to hit an iceberg and sink. It was a black swan as the probability of sinking was considered low as it was a new ship.
And most recently during the Asian Youth Games held in Singapore, the organising committee was taken aback by a black swan, which is the H1N1, and this resulted in the withdrawal of Malaysian teams from the games and also more than 5 confirmed cases among the players.
The black swan theory can be applied to another context as well. For example, in an organisation, as a manager, he or she needs to have long-term strategic planning and not be fooled by randomness. Because black swans can have extreme effects that may cause the downfall of a company. So instead of focusing on the obvious, the main points, why not prepare yourself for the unexpected?
Okay.
And if the black swan does actually happen, managers have to be flexible and react accordingly to the situation to try to minimize losses.
So what we could have done differently is that we should always have a contingency plan. In our case, as it did not rain, we should have a backup plan. Like perhaps change the focus of our project, like to charity, fundraising or community work.
You should do that.
Secondly, if we are to do this again, we must first come up with possible modifications to the current plan, like what we did, collecting pledges, signatures and stuff like that. This can help us handle uncertainties that may arise.
It doesn't matter even if we did not implement these modifications. It was definitely important that we have these plans in mind first so that we will not be caught off guard.
Lastly, we should have done more research during the initial planning stage. We could have analysed the trends of the weather forecast before starting our project. If the research result shows that it is not raining, right, we could have changed our project right from the start.
And in an organisation, research and critical thinking are important as it minimises uncertainties which may cause stress and anxiety.
These are all good tips.
So to all you managers out there, let us give you a word of wisdom.
Learn to expect the unexpected!